Hello, all you beautiful people out there. What is going on? This is your friend Birdie coming at you fast with another Paragon gameplay. And today we are going to be doing a little bit of a commentary, just of a topic that I want to get off of my mind and talk to you guys a little bit and share with you guys. But first off, I just want to point out to anyone at Epic Games who's watching this right now, I just want to go ahead and point out Ezekiel right here, who actually decided to spend the entire game's duration where I was playing this game right here, AFK. And I'm also going to tweet this at Paragon, and this is just proof that there are still people who just AFK for no reason. He decided to AFK because we were going up against Ram Riddles, Arsenic, and a guy on meds, Raffle My Waffle, and Shoot Dude, which are all really good people. They're all really good players, and he just went up and gave up when we actually had a pretty decent chance of winning, because we were like doing a really good amount here in the beginning of the game. And here you see me actually typing to him like, dude, come on, we should get out. That's why I wasn't moving there for a second, but you'll notice if you look at your map right here, he's gonna be here the entire time. I just wanted to point that out. So anyway, today's video is going to be a little bit of a commentary. I know a lot of people in the community have already talked about it, and I hope Epic actually still likes me a little bit. I hope they don't think I'm a mean, rude person, because I never make it out to their events. But I know Generation Hollow has talked about it. Another Notch has talked about it on his streams, and it's kind of annoying. And I want to talk about one change that I think should be implemented into Paragon's stat foremost and quicker than any other change. I mean, the Greystone nerf was nice, the Sparrow buff was nice, but I'm not talking about heroes. I'm talking about in general the game, and that is towers. Okay, towers. I'm sure a lot of people know what the hell I'm talking about. The fact that you can dive towers, not only with heroes that are built to dive towers, like tanks who build armor specifically for damage mitigation so they can stay under tower longer, but heroes like fucking Twin Blast, who are supposed to be squishy. You know, they're supposed to be carries. And I know Paragon is like, oh, but you can build heroes in a way that you normally wouldn't think of building them, and everything's great and all that and whatever. But really, you know, Twin Blast is gonna be the best carry. He's not gonna be a good tank. Okay, that's quite obvious. Rampage is gonna be a better tank than a carry, so on and so forth. Not saying you can't carry, that's just MOBA terminology. And with the Monolith update, this game became more and more like a MOBA, and that's good, except for the towers. And I don't understand this, because the towers in Legacy actually used to actually stack damage. And that is the biggest thing I want to happen. I want the towers to stack damage again. I want them, let's say you're under the tower ring, right? And you take a little bit of damage the first second, then you take some more damage the second hit, then you take some more damage the third hit, and it keeps going and going until you either die or leave the radius. It should be some sort of multiplier. It should either double in damage every time it hits you, or maybe times 1.5, or 1.75, or something along those lines. You know, it needs to do something useful for you. It can't just be there. Like, literally, you can dive towers with anybody, and it's so easy to kill somebody under tower. Towers offer no defense. Nobody's scared of towers. And I'd understand if it was only, like, tier 1 towers that were really weak, but just the other day, I had a Countess dive one of my teammates under inhibitor while our tier 2 was still alive and up and actually at full health even. And she took maybe a fifth of her health as damage, or a quarter of her health as damage. In League, that would be an automatic disintegration, okay? She would not even be able to get a second ability off after that lunge in there, okay? That is what needs to happen. You need to have towers be there for map control. There's honestly no map control. The enemy team can run around whatever the fuck they want, especially if they get steamrolling. And honestly, I understand the point of tower diving, and there are team strats and team comps that are meant for tower diving, like a Greystone ramp comp, where, you know, those two switch off, and that's okay. If you're juggling, you know, the tower damage, that is okay. But having somebody just run under tower, get the shot off, and then chase you and be okay and be able to run away without really any escape ability either, like a freaking Twin Blast. Again, okay, he has his dash, but that's not much. It really shouldn't be a thing, and that really needs to be changed pronto. That is my biggest issue with this game right now. Other than that, I've kind of gotten used to everything. I'm still a little bit salty about health not being existent. I think they need to bring health back up a little bit. A lot of people aren't going to agree with me. A lot of people are going to agree with me. At least bring it up to 75 and see where that leads us, okay? I honestly wanted to be back up to 100 because a lot of people are doing a lot of damage. 650 all the way to 900s with the crits on the carries. Abilities from Howitzer, Gideon's, Gadgets doing 600 plus. It is a bit ridiculous, and building just armor alone isn't going to help. And even if you use like Stasis Gem and other cards, other unique ability cards, actives that would help you live longer in fights, you need to be able to be a tank. You need to be able to peel and use your CC. You can't be immobilized like you can in Stasis Gem. I just don't like it. And people are going to be like, oh, but you have to focus more on being a tank. And I agree with that. Tanks should be built in a way where they only build armor and health. But at the same time, there's a problem with scaling that comes with that, okay? Tanks only get super duper tanky as they go on into the game. Like, you have to spend time building, basic attack damage armor. You have to spend time building ability armor, and then you have to spend time building health. That's 3 things you have to build, whereas with power, you just build one type of power for your own guy, and then you can go ahead and build crit chance and attack speed and all that. But what I'm saying is, usually you'd be able to build health first as your preliminary resistance to a lot of stuff. That was your early game kind of health tankiness, and then you would build into armor later. Whereas now you can't do that anymore, and health late game just gets absolutely neutralized because it's not useful enough to counter all of the late game scaling that occurs by the other carries like Murdoch, or the ability damage carries like Howitzer. It just doesn't end up working out, and the math doesn't end up being there. Basically, what I'm saying is, by the time you become tanky, it doesn't matter because everyone else already negated that with all of their damage dealing abilities and whatnot. So, honestly, will that change? I don't know, but towers 110% need to change. I don't care what anyone says. This game has become very, very difficult because it kind of just breaks the whole point of MOBAs and just not, having that ability to change and really do what you need to do when it comes to, protecting yourself under towers. It's just not a possible thing to do right now, as I get ganked for not being aware of my surroundings. That is my bad. But anyway, that's just all I have to say right now about that, guys. I don't know if you guys agree with me. If you do, drop it in the comment section below. What would you want to see changed? Besides hero rebalancing, that's obviously an issue. That's always going to be worked out with time. But towers are definitely something that need to change, and I'm going to stay by that. So, again, there's me typing to Ezekiel, being like, yo, you should come back, dog. And he never comes back. He never comes back, and it's very upsetting, and I get really sad. And also, side note, it is colder than an Eskimo snow cone right now. It's freaking raining and winding and winding and trippy, and I don't fucking know what else to say, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm trying not to die here. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and as always, make sure y'all have a wonderful day. And then... first people